Yo, what's good? So today I'll be covering PSG's win against Chelsea. Like PSG is the best team in the world right now. I think they're not really getting given that credit after winning the Champions League because they kind of haven't performed as well in Europe. But I think they're kind of getting their rhythm back, and they're a very scary opponent. I think also Bayern alongside with Arsenal are the top three teams in Europe right now, and we'll see what will happen. So here PSG's goalkeeper goes long. He sees an opportunity to try and keep the ball up front, so he decides to clear it, and he shoots it long instead of trying to building out from the back. I think he sees an opportunity. Yeah, so he saw an isolation situation, a 1v1 where Kvicha Kvaratskhelia was left alone with the young Senegalese defender. And I think this was a this was like quick thinking from his part. It's not something that you often see with a lot of prem sides nowadays. Back in the day in England, there was a lot of these type of long balls, but I think but this is a it's PSG, but it's not something even that they're used to defending anymore. Like Chelsea, or they're not really confronted to these type of situations unless they're playing like teams that are like in the relegation zone. So Kvicha is in this isolation situation. He holds off the defender and uses his strength while trying to judge where the ball is going to go down. So once the ball drops and goes down and he has full control of it, he uses his body and his arms to create separation from him and the defender to try and get a shot where he could just place it or blast it into the net. There's a lot of space on the left side, and I think that's what he chooses. Yeah, so Kvicha just like nets the goal. He just scores. Like he's a very clinical player, and he has very good shooting mechanics. He's a very clean striker of the ball, and this with if he's given more opportunities, he's a player that I believe can start scoring in the 30 goals per season if not only he gets more opportunities, but if also he improves much more. He still has a great margin of improvement, but he's such a talented, hardworking, and dedicated player that I think he has the possibilities of reaching an even higher level. This is just top striker activity, like his strength, his like just the way he's like toying with the defender. He just treating him like a little boy, like he's just holding him off. He's just gliding, and he does it all with flow. Like his aesthetics, like the way he plays, the way he celebrates, like his aura, the way he's moving with the ball. It's just like top striker activity. He's just giving and showing a lot of confidence, a lot of just like they would say arrogance, but it's just style. It's like he's really one of those players that's inspiring the young generation of footballers, and he's a player that we should all try to learn from. Yeah, so if you want to be successful in this day and age of football, it all relies in the individual battles, especially the battles in the midfield. You see out here, PSG are all pressing, they're all trying to win the ball back like in the fastest way possible. As soon as Chelsea gets the ball, PSG is trying to win it back. I think they probably have instructions from their coach to not let Chelsea progress with the ball, and this is exactly what PSG does. They press him, they double team, and they try to win the ball as soon as possible. After winning the ball, PSG has this forward mindset. They're not just winning it to try to pass it around. They're winning it and trying to go forward. Like there are statistics in football that say that like when you score, I think no, when you as soon as you win the ball, like you'd probably score a goal in the next 13 seconds. So you should try to think forward as fast as you can when you win the ball instead of slowing down the pace of play when you win it, because there's a high probability of when you winning the ball that you would probably score a goal. And as you see here, Barcola is left open. He has so much space. Like this should never be a player should never have that much space on the edge of the box, like especially knowing how creative these PSG boys are. So he gets the ball in range and he shoots. Yeah, so he just roofs it. He just blasts it into the top bins, like into the net. Like this is just a high quality finish. Like it's a power shot. It's not a finesse shot, but he does whatever is necessary and it ends up in the back of the goal. Barcola has been a player that is very talented. He's very technical, but he needs to improve and be more clinical in front of goal, a bit calming down. He could learn a lot from Usman. Usman was very much like him, like a season or two ago, and looking at how Usman has changed certain things in his game could help and profit Barcola in his journey and development. Yeah, just wow. This is one of those goals that you dream of scoring. Izzy scored a goal that is just similar, but Izzy's goal came from the left side and it was off the a half turn and it had a bit more flow to it. But this one, like it was just a powerful strike. It was just a strike that was beautiful to see. Like he was also closed down and it was probably like a shot that was that had a higher probability of being contested, but it's just an overall like not good strike all in all. Now this is so tough. Like you could just see he's happy, he's smiling. His teammates are happy. Usman is out there smiling in the back. I think Warren Zaire Emery is smiling. He's happy for him. Kuvicha is dapping him up. Like the players are just a unit. They're all happy for each other. This is a good group. This is a young group. This is the best team in Europe. And they might just be the best team in Europe for the next couple of years if we don't do something about it. If the other clubs don't join forces together and do something about it, this might just become the PSG show and they might just rack up a bunch of Champions Leagues. Like I said before, again, this is another instance where PSG have are winning their battles in the midfield. I think at this point the lap has the ball and he's trying to lay it off to his teammate, but PSG are out there and they're being aggressive in the midfield. They're trying to win the ball as soon as possible. They're not letting him turn easily. They're not giving him much options but to release the ball. And this is how they're organized. You already see there are players that are strategically placed around the press and that are already thinking of ways to create either to drop back if the ball goes through or to move forward. So PSG win the ball back and it makes his way to Vitinha. You can tell he has that vista. He has that connection with Kvara. Like they lock eyes and they automatically understand what they have to do. Kvara has a player on his back. Vitinha makes uh makes like Kvara understand what he wants to do. Kvara already understand that he needs to check. Kvara plays it back to Vitinha. They do a 1-2, and this is just Vitinha's uh proactivity. Vitinha is a player that passes and goes into the next space. He doesn't just pass and then stays where he's at. He's always proactive. He's always trying to be involved in the game and he's always being progressive. So after the 1-2, Vitinha gets the ball in the wide area, and Kvara already understand that when he dragged the defender in, it created a vacuum, a power vacuum, and there's space in behind where he needs to attack. And Vitinha has the quality to make that pass in a small space and for it to reach Kvara. And you can also see here that Dembele is proactive, and Dembele understands that he can possibly get a goal, and he's already like on the go trying to either get a tap in if Kvara tries to square it to him, or just to be like a decoy run in case someone else makes a run. So he has a very good stance and he's very proactive in this action. He understands perfectly what's going on, and he's not just letting his player run on his own. So now Kvara has two options. He can either pass it to Hakimi or pass it to Mayulu. Uh, Dembele created a space by running and dragging the defender closer to the six, and it created a big gap that could be exploited, and it's a very clear shot. So Kvara plays it in an area closer to Hakimi. Hakimi doesn't control the ball properly, and he kind of gets a they kind of get a lucky rebound, and it makes his way to Mayulu, and Mayulu shoots, and it's just a boom. It's just he just booms it. He just blasts it like with all like with finesse. Like you can see, I think it's Andre Santos. He's trying to come and trying to block the ball. He's trying to make his way there. Moses Caicedo is trying to block the ball. Like they're kind of they kind of weren't expecting it. Like the separation is too big. Whereas even if they they were they had like super speed, they probably wouldn't be able to make it in time. Their positioning was just wrong. They had the wrong read, and Dembele created that gap in behind by dragging the defender with him. Yeah, so this is just another angle of that beautiful strike in the top bins. Like it's just cold. It's just a cold finish. Like PSG have all these ballers. Like look at Cucurella's head. He's just looking at that strike. Like they're all just looking back at that beauty. Marvelous. This is just amazing. Que golazo. What a goal. Yeah, like all in all we could say is well done to PSG. Let me just clap. Like this is just a master class. Like they're teaching everyone how to play football. Like everyone should learn from PSG. Like regardless of what club you support, you should just try and look at the good things that PSG are implementing, and the good strategies that Enrique has, and just their patterns of play and their philosophy. Although football is not just a philosophy thing, there's also the practical aspect of it. But there's a lot to learn from this team, and just well done. It's just crazy, like losing like 8-2, just that like on aggregate, that score line is just insane. Like I just couldn't imagine. Like it's really like a big question. Like Chelsea has to fix a lot of things. I don't know why they sacked Maresca. Not saying that their new manager is bad or anything, but it's one of those situations where like you get rid of a coach that won you the Club World Cup, a coach that puts you in a great position, and it seems like if they don't really have uh, a plan, and like whereas like when you look at PSG, like you see some stability. You see Luis Enrique is here for he's been there for almost 3 years now. Like He's the boss. He's the jefe. He's the general. He's the guy. You all you could do is, if you're Chelsea off, all you could do is just laugh at them. But like, seriously, this is very concerning. It's very concerning for a lot of these Premier League sides that have no stability, and they should be looking to keep a manager and to get a manager for 3-4 seasons before stacking him and trying to build culture instead of just like spending sprees, like just having all these spending sprees and not really having a direction. Like, when you're just watching PSG, like they're just rinsing Chelsea. They're just like like all these comments on Twitter are saying, like, like they're just embarrassing them. So like you see here, Kvara has had back-to-back man of the match performances. Luis Enrique is just a legend. He's just a king. He without him, like without his system, without like all of the things he implemented. Although PSG has all this talent, I don't think they get this far because they've had all these superstars, they've had all these other world class coaches, and it didn't turn out. But PSG is playing some of their best football, and it's not an understatement to say, and it's not even a surprise to anyone to say that they might just be building a dynasty. And I think if there's a team in this decade other than Real Madrid that could go back to back, like in the next 5 years, in the 2020s decade, because Madrid hasn't gone back to back in the 2020s decade. But if there's a team that could go back to back, I think it's gonna be PSG.